Well, we're back again. We tried to start it. It was a no-go. We had power in lots of places, but the starter wouldn't do nothing. And every time we touched the steering wheel, the column, the horn would go off. So it's gonna need a little work. Anyway, did have to change that tire out, the one I drug up, because we tried pulling it up and the exhaust got hung on my trailer. So anyway, it's you can see where somebody had started sanding and priming, and obviously did a good job. And that is some pretty mud work there, I've got to admit. Good night. But actually, of course, it was a vinyl roof car, and I may have said that before. Besides that rust down there, there is a little bit down there at the front, but it's not that bad. And there's a couple of small dents. Maybe you can see it, or maybe you can't there and there. But outside of that, the car is actually not in bad shape. Now I don't know what they were doing, but they left feed bags in there when they were feeding some dogs and whatnot, and it ended up full of all kinds of critters, which if you leave them that kind of Johnson grass, you're going to end up with it here anyway. It's just how it works here. But anyway, he didn't pay that much for it. He kind of bought it sight unseen, and what we're going to do is, we got it here. I guess there is a dent in that front fender I hadn't noticed. It's not terrible, but anyway, he's kind of concerned. He thinks that it's rough, and it is. I can't get the door open until I get this car. I sort of can, but anyway, you can see that they ate up everything. I was hoping that the headliner was good, but it's not. So it's rough. The dash isn't so bad. It's cracked in a few spots, but it's not as bad as I thought. But we did pull the headlights, and the headlights come on, and a fan came on when we turned the switch. It just won't turn over. There's not even a sound from the starter, so my guess would be that something probably in the ignition, but the back of the seat's tore up and the package tray's not the best. But anyway, we're going to unload it, and I'm going to be honest with you. I'd like to tell you it's got brakes, but I'm going with probably not. So we stuck a couple of, I could have winched it down, but that's not how I roll. So this is either going to be good or bad. I don't know why he's doing this. It's not my car, and he didn't want to be on video, which I don't blame him. I don't want to sit in that seat. I don't even want to sit in there. I don't know. You can see he pulled the cover off that steering wheel because it was just honking. Every time we touched the steering, the column, the ignition switch, everything, horn would honk. Anyway, it is a 354 barrel Buick motor, of course. Being a 73, it's got points on the ignition end, which is not that big of a deal. And then it does have disc brakes. So there's some work that needs done, obviously. But for what he paid for it, and he's got a clear title, it shouldn't be that hard to unload this thing when he wants to. It obviously had a vinyl roof. It's not that bad. I thought these had lead in them, so I don't know if somebody's worked on that before. Not really sure. Anyway, we're going to get this thing unloaded, so I don't want anybody to see my complete failure when it rolls over those and gets hung high centered in the center of it. Anyway, I'll probably make some more video of this. We actually brought it out to one of his properties. He's going to clean the inside out with kind of a bonfire deal, and then do a little try to get rid of some of the mice, some of the, just do a basic clean in stuff on it, and then we're going to take it over to the shop building, and where it got concrete and stuff, and then we'll try to make it go. And but it's been sitting for 10-12 years. It was bought for someone, and then it ended up not working out for him. And so it actually was driven from Missouri over here, which was, I don't know, 150, 200 miles or whatever. So back then it actually did run good. It's a shame though, I've said this in other videos, don't let them sit, guys. The longer they sit, we just left this friend of mine's brother's place. He's got some old Chargers, and there's two old two-door Fairlanes sitting out there, and an old Rambler two-door hardtop, and some old pickups and stuff. He won't part with any of them, and they're just rotting into the ground just like this was. Matter of fact, it was within about a mile and a half of where he picked his Buick up, is where the rest of the stuff is sitting. And it's a shame, none of it's for sale. And then, like I said, it's too bad. But Anyway, it's kind of how it rolls. That's how it works. I mean, I've had stuff that people wanted, and then whenever I want to sell it, nobody wants it, and I end up having to give it away, then kick myself for doing it. But anyway, I'm going to get off here, and next time you see it, I don't know it'll be running, but it'll be more of an under hood thing, kind of look at it all over and stuff, because I'm sure it's going to need brake work and a lot of other stuff, and I don't know how much money he's going to want to put in it. I think he just wants to make a start, go, and you know, stop, and then we'll probably, then I think he's going to sell it. He's got a car he wants, so this is probably going to be a pretty quick turnaround. And since I don't know when this video will be put up, most likely it'll be gone prior to you even seeing these videos. So anyway, guys, I'll talk to you later.